Hello my movie geeks, I am the Ultimate Movie Geek and today I'm going to be talking A Quiet Place. And I will try and keep it spoiler free. Co-written and directed by and starring John Krasinski, it also stars Emily Blunt, Krasinski's real-life wife, and follows them and their children as they try and survive in a post-apocalyptic world. The threat is an alien race who have a very, very strong sense of hearing, and they have learnt that any sound, down to the smallest shuffling of animal, or if you drop something, is loud enough to attract them, and they are fast, so they will be on you before you can even move. The film is, for the majority, a silent film, with the family communicating with visuals and sign language. The visuals of the film highlight everything that the family have done to survive and not make a sound. From things like wearing shoes and using lettuce leaves for plates. As there is not much verbal communication, there are subtitles and they are used to emphasise the silence. But the way they work and the way they appear is when the communication is being said, when the subtitle or when the sign is being done, even down to pauses. It's so good. It stood out for me as the subtitles were part of the build-up to the thrill and just emphasised how good film can be even when you don't have sound. As a horror, there are some points that were obvious jump scares, and as I've mentioned many times, especially during the Halloween countdown, I'm not good with jump scares. Even if I know they're coming, I will always jump. But these jump scares are few and far between, and the majority of the scares are in camera, so we see something that the characters don't. And I think this works so much better in a film rather than having the silence that builds up. You know something's coming and then a loud clash of music. If we see something is lurking up on the characters, it is a lot more frightening than just having something jump out into the screen. One of the children is deaf, and the film works hard to differentiate the two kinds of silence. With her, we hear absolutely nothing, but with the other family members, we hear the natural silence of the world. So there is a breeze, there is a slight sound of movement and all that, but with the daughter, nothing. We hear what she hears, and it is absolutely nothing. It's nice to see how the sound design of the film is utilised to drive the story forward. The first thing I said to my wife when I left the cinema was that it had a similar feel to the film Signs. And if you don't like Signs, don't let that sway you about this film. For starters, it has more alien, and although the alien is CGI, they decide to keep it hidden, using sound and environmental movement to show where the creature is. There's a lot of family drama in the film, from the opening to the close. They are on constant alert, and yet they still make small mistakes that could have loud consequences. We meet them 89 days in after the invasion, and we see that throughout the film they are still learning from their mistakes. There are also moments that ground the film, making you feel for the family. Every character has a role to play, they have a story, and the film utilises these stories really, really well. There are a couple of moments that don't work too much, but as I don't really want to spoil anything, I won't go into detail. I'll just say it involves a bath and corn. A Quiet Place is an extremely tense film that puts you on edge from the opening moments. It increases to a point where we know there will be a noise, because there cannot not be a noise? That double negative? There has to be a noise. From the moment I saw the trailer, I was hooked, and I am glad I went to see the film on the first viewing I could. I would recommend this film to everyone. It is tense, and it gives a breath of fresh air to the post-apocalyptic alien invasion zombie film type thing. It has done something like, everyone's getting slightly bored with The Walking Dead, and this is set in a similar situation, but it doesn't seem done before. It feels fresh. I would give A Quiet Place an A. Go and see this film, because if nothing, it's a break from the blockbuster superhero films we're constantly bombarded with. But on top of that, it is an extremely well thought out, well made film. John Krasinski is a superb director, and even though I haven't seen any of his other directing efforts, I want to see more. He has made an enjoyable and scary film that works well, even though he removed one of the main aspects to drive a film forward: speech. I'm Neil from the Movie Geek. If you want to follow me, you can do on Facebook, Instagram and WordPress. And also, subscribe to my channel. I want the subscribers. I want the conversation about film. This is why I started doing this stuff, is because I don't have many people to talk to about films anymore, and I love going to see a film and then talking about it. That's why I started the Man About a Dog podcast, is so that me and Craig can get together and we can just chat about films for a couple of hours. I like the back and forth. I like to hear other people's opinions, and I like to give my opinions, clearly. So if you want to subscribe, you know, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and all that rubbish. And most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.